Let's move on to a second team that we talked about. Seattle also on 45 points right now, with 4 games to go. Away at Nashville, home versus Galaxy, home versus Vancouver, away to a very good St. Louis team. Seattle, as we mentioned, pretty bang average, right down the middle. 6-4-5 at home, 6-5-4 away. How do you think this is gonna pan out for them?
It's a tough list of teams on paper, but I think they're going to fare pretty well. So, as mentioned in the Eastern Conference episode, I think Seattle takes 3 points at Nashville. I just think I mean, just as you were talking about before, they're a good road team. I think they can get it done. They're strong defensively. The Galaxy at home, I think they win that game. I think the Galaxy are just struggling too much. Too many injuries to key players. Home against Vancouver, I think that's going to be a draw. I think both sides are pretty evenly matched, and Seattle's not exactly dominant at home this season. And then I think at St. Louis to end the season, I think at that point, St. Louis will have nothing to play for. They'll have locked up number one in the West. They'll be out of the race for the supporter shield. I think they rest people. Seattle maybe, I think, still might have a shot at playing for a 2 seed. So if that's the case, I think they probably play a little bit more of their guys than St. Louis. I think they get a draw there. So I've got them finishing on 8 points in their last 4 games and at 53 points.
Interesting. Um, you hang a lot of weight on the last game of the season, resting players for the next set. I don't believe that's something that'll happen because of how tight everything's going to be and playing for. You're talking about playing for a second seed. These people might be still playing for a fifth or a sixth seed. So, and I say that because 2-9, right? Or two, let's just say 2-8, separated by 4 points. 2-6, separated by 1 game, 3 points. So everything's so tight. I don't think we're gonna see anybody just resting. I think everybody's gonna go at it.
Well, I was saying that I think St. Louis will rest people. Because they will seemingly by the last game they'll be locked in, and no matter what happens in that last game, nothing will change for them.
Sure, but I still don't think you rest players and get them out of form going into a playoff series because you're already gonna have so much downtime anyway. You know what I
Well,
mean? Especially on those bye weeks.
is the bye weeks the play-in games? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
yeah, that's what I mean.
How long do they? I mean, I don't want to dive into a whole tangent, so we could just move on. We could talk about that another time.
Okay. For me, I have something a bit different, of course, because we are never on the same page. I've got a draw away at Nashville, and I think I mentioned that in the Eastern Conference video. So go check that out. Draw at Nashville. I do think they're stronger at home, but I think Nashville will get it done enough to get a point. Win versus Galaxy, like you mentioned, lots of players hurt there. I do also have a draw versus Vancouver, but I do have a loss against St. Louis. I think St. Louis at home, last game of the season before playoffs. I think they're going to want to go in on a bang, and like I said, they're still fighting for a whole bunch of other records as in terms of expansion teams, right? So I think Seattle finishes with 5 points in their last 4 games, and I think they come out with 50 total.
And you are going for chaos in the Western Conference. I could already tell.
There's already chaos. There's tons of it.
And you're keeping the chaos. That's for
Why?
sure.
Who gets rid of chaos? Who's silly enough to do that?
It's fair. That is fair.